I turn my camera on, I cut my fingers on.
Hello. Today we're going to be discussing the angiotensin II receptor blockers. The prototype for this drug class is Losartan. The indication for these drugs are hypertension in the event that the patient is intolerant to an ACE inhibitor due to angioedema or a cough. Now we're going to show a skit demonstrating the mechanism of action of these drugs. Just look at it.
Convert me.
Now go, Ang2, go find your receptor.
Come to Mama Hugh.
Hold on, wait a minute. Step back, Ang2.
Can't you read? We're Losartan. This isn't a competition anymore.
Mama Hugh is ours. Oh, we blocked that path. Boom.
What's the mechanism of action of Losartan? I know you want to know, which is why I'm here. In response to low blood volume, angiotensinogen is produced by the kidneys. It is then converted to angiotensin I by renin. Angiotensin I is converted to angiotensin II by the ACE enzyme. This is where our drug comes into play. We block that path. It is reversible and non-competitive.
Losartan is taken orally without regard to meals. The normal dosing is between 25 to 100 milligrams per day. ARBs also come in combination with thiazide diuretics. Losartan is acidic in nature and is ionized at physiological pH. It is highly bound to proteins and has a low bioavailability. The onset of action is about 6 hours. It has poor lipid solubility and incomplete absorption. Losartan undergoes extensive first-pass metabolism. This occurs in the liver via CYP2C9 and 3A4. An active metabolite is formed. This metabolite is 40 times more potent than Losartan itself. The half-life of Losartan is about 2 hours. Losartan is excreted by the kidneys and the biliary tract. If a patient has hepatic impairment, the dose of Losartan should be reduced to 25 milligrams per day. If the patient has renal impairment, they do not need to adjust their dose.
Oh, hello. One of the first things we need to be aware of as practitioners when dealing with ACEs and ARBs is their potential to cause angioedema and cough. ARBs are much less likely to cause this reaction because they do not inhibit the angiotensin converting enzyme and thus do not lead to an increase in kinin. Some other adverse effects that we could see are headache and hypotension. Some other adverse effects that are not usually clinically relevant include hyperkalemia, hyponatremia, increased liver enzymes, and hyperbilirubinemia. So, Ang2, what would have happened if we hadn't blocked your path?
Funny you should ask. Had I bound to my receptor, I ultimately would have increased sodium absorption as well as water reabsorption, therefore leading to an increase in blood volume. This increase in blood volume would ultimately lead to an increase in blood pressure. So, when Losartan stopped me from binding my receptor, it ultimately led to a decrease in blood pressure.
Did your doctor tell you what this medication was for, Miss Good?
Dr. Shockley, I just don't understand why I have to take this medication. I don't feel bad at all.
Well, this medication named Losartan is used to treat high blood pressure. And you may not feel sick, but high blood pressure can lead to heart problems and various other issues. You need to take this medication with a full glass of water. You can take it with or without food. You also need to take it every day on a regular basis. If you miss a dose, take it as soon as you can, but if it's close to your next dose, just skip that one and take the one that's coming. And the last thing I want to tell you is do not drive or operate any heavy machinery until you know how this drug affects you. Do you have any questions for me?
No. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Shockley. It was very helpful.
No, thank you for coming in. Have a nice day.
I turn my camera on. I cut my fingers on the way. On the way I'm slipping away. I turn my feelings on. You made me untouchable for life.